Welcome to the Story King, where every tale unleashes your imagination. The Silver Moon's Reckoning. The crystal champagne flute shattered against marble before anyone could breathe. Aria didn't flinch as the shards exploded near her feet, each fragment catching the ballroom's golden light like tiny daggers. She'd been balancing 3 trays of hors d'oeuvre when Marcus Thornwolf, heir to the most powerful Lycan pack in the Northern Territories, extended his Italian leather shoe and sent her sprawling. Laughter erupted from his circle of elite wolves. The kind of cruel, biting laughter that echoed off vaulted ceilings and embedded itself in your bones. "Oops," Marcus drawled, his amber eyes glinting with malice. "Clumsy human. Perhaps you should stick to serving dogs, not wolves." Aria's hands were bleeding. Small cuts from the broken glass peppered her palms, crimson droplets staining her crisp white uniform. She remained on her knees, head bowed, every muscle in her body coiled like a spring. 5 years of training screamed at her to move, to strike, to make him regret ever being born. But not yet. "I apologize, sir," she whispered, her voice steady despite the rage burning through her veins. Marcus crouched down, his designer suit probably worth more than she'd supposedly earned in a year. He gripped her chin roughly, forcing her to meet his gaze. This close, she could smell his cologne, expensive, suffocating, mixed with the unmistakable musk of wolf. "Look at me when I'm speaking to you, human trash." Behind him, someone cleared their throat. The sound cut through the ballroom like a blade through silk. Marcus's grip loosened slightly as he turned, and Aria saw him for the first time, Alpha Cale Thornwolf, Marcus's father and the Lycan King himself. Where Marcus was all sharp edges and cruelty, Cale was controlled power. He stood at the top of the grand staircase, his presence commanding instant silence. Silver streaked his dark hair at the temples, and his steel-gray eyes swept across the scene with the precision of a predator assessing prey. "Marcus," Cale's voice was quiet, but it carried. "Release her, father, I was just." "Now." Marcus's hand dropped from Aria's chin. She watched something flicker across the young wolf's face, fear, maybe, or resentment, before he stood and stepped back. Cale descended the stairs with fluid grace, each step deliberate. The crowd parted like water before him. Aria remained kneeling, aware that every supernatural creature in this room could hear her heartbeat, steady and slow. Too slow for someone who should be terrified. The Alpha stopped 3 feet away. "Stand." Aria rose smoothly despite her injuries, keeping her eyes respectfully lowered. But she felt his gaze on her, analytical and thorough. "Your name?" "Aria, sir." "Aria Cross." "How long have you worked here, Aria Cross?" 3 months, sir." A pause. Then, unexpectedly, "Let me see your hands." She extended them, palms up. Blood welled from a dozen small cuts. Cale's expression didn't change, but something shifted in his scent, a note of displeasure. It was gone too quickly to identify. "Marcus." Cale didn't look at his son. "Apologize, father, she's just a..." Did I stutter? The temperature in the room seemed to drop 10 degrees. Marcus's jaw clenched. "I apologize," he ground out, each word clearly painful. "To her, not to the floor." The young wolf finally looked at Aria, his eyes promising retribution. "I apologize for my clumsiness." Cale gestured to one of the staff managers hovering nervously at the periphery. "Take Miss Cross to the medical wing. Ensure she receives proper care." He turned back to Aria, and for just a moment, their eyes met. Gray locked with deep brown, and Aria saw something flicker in his gaze, recognition, curiosity. It was gone before she could decipher it. "Thank you for your service tonight," he said quietly. "You may take the rest of the evening off with full pay." It was dismissal and protection wrapped in one. Aria nodded and let herself be led away, acutely aware of Marcus's burning glare following her retreat. The medical wing was empty except for a young wolf doctor who bandaged her hands with professional efficiency and obvious discomfort at treating a mere human. Aria thanked him and slipped out the side entrance, heading not to the staff quarters but to the East Training Wing. The mansion was enormous, and she'd spent 3 months meticulously mapping every corridor, every exit, every security blind spot. The Council had sent her here for one reason: intel gathering. The Thornwolf Pack controlled 70% of the supernatural weapons trade in North America, and someone was using that pipeline to traffic silver bullets specifically designed to kill innocent wolves. She'd been getting close. Just 2 more weeks, and she'd have the proof needed to bring the operation down. Now Marcus had complicated everything. Aria pushed open the training room door and stopped dead. Alpha Kale Thornwolf sat on the edge of the boxing ring, still in his tailored suit, watching her with those penetrating grey eyes. "You're very good," he said conversationally. The heartbeat control, the submissive posture, the perfect blend of fear and deference. He tilted his head. "But your scent is wrong." Aria's hand moved instinctively to the knife strapped to her thigh beneath her uniform skirt, but she forced herself to stop. "I don't understand, sir." "No." Kale stood, rolling his shoulders with predatory grace. "Humans smell like prey when they're afraid. They sweat, their pupils dilate, their muscles tremble." He began walking toward her, each step measured. "You smell like gunpowder and ozone. Like violence barely contained." He stopped just outside her strike range, which told her he knew exactly what her strike range was. "So I'll ask you again, Aria Cross, if that's even your real name, who are you, and why are you in my home?" The game was over. Aria straightened, letting the submissive facade fall away like a discarded coat. Her stance shifted, weight balanced, ready. "I'm a hunter," she said simply. "Working with the Supernatural Council." To her surprise, Kale smiled. It was a small thing, barely a curve of his lips, but it transformed his face. "Finally, the truth. You knew. I suspected from the first week. No ordinary human moves like you do, even when you're trying to hide it." He crossed his arms. "The question is, what is the Council hunting in my territory?" Aria studied him, recalibrating. "Someone in your organization is trafficking specialized silver ammunition. The kind designed to fragment inside a Lycan's body, making extraction impossible." Kale's expression hardened. "I'm aware. You know. Why do you think I've been hosting these elaborate parties for the past 3 months? Bringing in wolves from every branch of my operation." He moved to a nearby weapons rack, running his fingers over a training sword. "Someone in my inner circle is betraying us. I've been narrowing down the suspects. Working alone is dangerous," Aria said carefully. "I could say the same to you." His eyes met hers again, and this time there was something else there, respect, perhaps. "Though I imagine the Council chose a hunter specifically because wolves would underestimate a human. They usually do. Not this wolf." Kale turned fully toward her. "I saw you catch yourself when Marcus tripped you. The way your weight shifted, the micro adjustments in your center of gravity. You could have broken his knee and dislocated his shoulder before he even registered the movement." Aria said nothing. "Why didn't you?" Kale asked, genuine curiosity in his voice. "Because I'm here to stop weapons dealers, not start a war between hunters and Lycans." She paused. "And because I knew you were watching." That surprised him. She could see it in the slight widening of his eyes. "You knew I was there. I could feel you, your presence." Aria shook her head. "I can't explain it, but the moment you entered the ballroom, I knew." Silence stretched between them, loaded with implications neither seemed ready to voice. Finally, Kale spoke. "I owe you an apology for my son's behavior. He's young, arrogant, he's dangerous," Kale corrected. "And that makes him a liability." He moved closer, near enough now that Aria could feel the heat radiating from his body. Lycans ran hot, their metabolisms burning like furnaces. "But despite his actions tonight, I don't believe Marcus is involved in the trafficking." "Then who?" "That's what we're going to find out." Kale extended his hand. "Work with me, Aria Cross. Combine what you've learned with what I know. We'll find them faster together." Aria looked at his offered hand, then back up at his face. The council won't like me collaborating with a Lycan alpha without authorization. And my pack won't like me working with a hunter. His slight smile returned. Seems we both enjoy making things complicated. Despite everything, the danger, the deception, the fact that she should absolutely report this to her superiors, Aria found herself smiling back. She reached out and clasped his hand. His grip was warm, strong, and sent an unexpected jolt through her system. Partners, then, she said. Partners, Kale agreed, but he didn't let go of her hand immediately. One condition. What? The next time someone threatens you, you have my permission to defend yourself. Properly. His eyes glinted with dark amusement. I'd very much like to see Marcus learn that lesson. Aria laughed, a real laugh that echoed in the empty training room. Deal. As they stood there, hands still clasped, neither acknowledged the spark of something more than partnership that flickered between them. There would be time for that later, after they caught their traitor and navigated the impossible politics of a hunter and an alpha working together. For now, they had a conspiracy to unravel, and Aria had the distinct feeling that Marcus Thornwolf's humiliation was only just beginning. What happened next would shake the Lycan world to its foundations, but that's a story for another time. For now, just remember, never underestimate the quiet ones. They're usually the most dangerous. The end. Thank you for reading. Don't forget to subscribe to the Story King for more thrilling tales that will keep you on the edge of your seat.